Is suffering optional? In today's video, I'm going to share the 4 common causes of stress in our careers. And by the end of this video, you'll learn the 4 most common causes of suffering and stress in your relationships, your careers, and your workplaces. So let's dive in. For the best career advice on how to disrupt the status quo in your career and life, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You don't want to miss a video. Make sure you hit the bell notification to be notified every time there's a new video. So if you're new here, I'm Nicole Andrews, also known as the Career Disruptor. My goal is to help ambitious women disrupt the status quo in their careers and up level by embracing their unique difference and creating a strategy that works for them to get from where they are again to where they want to be. I'm a career coach, an organizational consultant, and speaker that helps companies focus on creating inclusive environments where everyone, no matter their difference, can thrive. So let's get started. Well, so many people over the last year have really thought about their relationships, their careers, themselves, the world, their workplaces, and they are wondering if all of this suffering and this anxiety and the stress will ever end. And so I'm here with you. I'm here with you in the pain. I'm here with you in the sense of, will this ever end? But I'm here to inspire hope and also a sense of excitement that yes, no matter what you're going through, if we look outward, we can always see possibilities and we can always serve. And so when you're able to serve and impact the world in your unique way, then suffering truly can become optional because you know that there's more to your pain, and that pain can be transformed into something that literally changes other people's lives. So that was a lot. And now I'm going to dive into the 4 beliefs. So here's a quick overview of the beliefs, and then I'll share some examples of how those show up in our lives and our careers. So number 1 are limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs about yourself and others causes suffering. Number 2, unmet expectations of yourself and others can cause stress and suffering. Number 3, unhealthy attachments to yourself and others can cause stress and suffering. And number 4 is a lack of action or inaction from yourself and others. So the first one, limiting beliefs. Wow, this trips all of us up at times. It's the thoughts and the things that we play in our head over and over again that tells us that we're not good enough, or we'll never be able to own our own business, or we'll never be able to advance and grow to the C-suite in our career. We'll never be able to do this good enough, well enough, the same as this person. Well, I'm here to help you disrupt those limiting beliefs. And again, we all have them. But the way to challenge and disrupt limiting beliefs is to really look at others and see the possibilities. I always like to tell people, if there's somebody else who's doing what you want to do, then that means that you have the capacity and capability to do the same in your way, in your own way, but you can do it too. Because I believe that you have immense potential, and I believe that as long as you have that sincere belief, and we're going to get to number 4 later, but if you act on that belief, then the power is in your hands and you have control over what your future will look like. And so limiting beliefs that tell you that you're not good enough and all the comparison things that we do can keep you stuck. But the way to challenge that is to look at others and see the possibilities because they've done it. And if they've been through the same things that you have and they've still been able to overcome, then I'm here to tell you that you have what it takes, again, to do the same. The second one is unmet expectations. And here is where there's not alignment on your expectations and someone else's expectations. And that could be of yourself. So you may be wanting something, but you're doing something that's opposite of what you truly desire and what you truly want. And so you're going to have internal conflicts because of those unmet expectations of yourself. The way that it shows up in other people is that you may have unmet expectations because you're working a job where you have to travel 75% of the time, and you really want to be at home spending more time with your family. And so there may be a disconnect. You still want to succeed in your career, but you don't want to have to sacrifice your family to do it. So here's how you resolve unmet expectations. You have to figure out what you want and create a plan on how to get there. Even if that takes a little bit of time and it requires some patience, it's worth it to resolve that expectation, because it will never go away. The other thing is, say for instance, you do want to change your role so that way you can be successful in your career, but also be successful in your home life. Well, you may have to co-create that with your boss if they're open to it, or pursue new opportunities that will allow you to align your work and your life. Not about balance, but it's about work-life alignment. So the third one is about unhealthy attachments. And unhealthy attachments are things that are no longer serving you, like material attachments to something that you are attached to, a job or a role or position because you know that you need that level of income, versus looking at how much income do I actually need to really live so I can actually, again, get off the treadmill, whatever that means for you. It doesn't mean necessarily leaving companies or leaving organizations. It's just that unhealthy attachment may be causing you to burn out because you're trying to keep up with whatever those material things are. Others are relationships that are no longer supporting you. Unhealthy attachments to those things that are relationships that are no longer, they're not even supportive of you. And number 3 are unhealthy attachments to status and title. Things that boost our ego, right? That we feel it gives us a sense of validation and approval from others. Those things can cause suffering, because if we can't let go of the title, if we can't let go of the home, the car, whatever it is, then anything that has such a strong hold over us that we can't let go, it can cause us our sanity. So when I think about the unhealthy attachments, the antidote to that is detachment. It's letting go and releasing. So for example, it could be a title. It could be that you decide that, hey, within 6 to 12 months, I no longer want this title. I'm going to do something that allows me to align my life and my work so I can be more joyful. So the fourth one is inaction, or a lack of action. I think about lack of action is, for example, self-care. Sometimes people sacrifice for work, and they don't take care of their health and well-being, and over time, they can't actually do the work that they enjoy or they love because they're having to focus on well-being. So when people talk about self-care, it seems so cliche and rah-rah, but it's really important. And the more I've advanced in my career, the more I advanced as an entrepreneur even, self-care is huge. Self-care is taking that time to rest, pause, whatever you need to, no judgment. Because we all have times where we just burn out, and so we just need to pause, we need to stop and rest and care for ourselves. That may be proper rest, that may be exercise, nutrition, it could be meditating, it could be reading books, whatever works for you, but taking that time to take care of you. So again, the lack of action around that can cause harm later on. The other thing to think about is the lack of action around creating a clear career strategy and disrupting the status quo. If you know that you're on a path that you really don't want to be on, or if you want to accelerate the path that you're on, but you're not creating that clear career strategy to do so, then you may be with a company who would support your career growth. You may be with a company that would support your advancement. However, if you don't have a clear strategy about what you want, it's hard for other people to align and help support your career aspirations and growth. So all of these 4 things, again, limiting beliefs, unmet expectations, unhealthy attachments, and inaction, are things that causes stress in our careers and our lives, but they don't have to be there. It doesn't have to be that way. So how is this a career disruption? When you realize that suffering is optional, it changes your whole mindset. It changes it because you realize that, wow, I can actually constantly challenge these limiting beliefs, and I can do new things and pursue new things because I know what's possible for me, because I've constantly disrupted the status quo. I can also release myself of unhealthy attachment so I can actually pursue something that will bring me joy. I can actually do something that, is action oriented today. Starting today, I can take one step towards my future that I'm looking to create. Or I can also align expectations and make sure that everyone around me understands my boundaries, my expectations, and vice versa. I understand theirs so I can meet their expectation as well, whether it's at work or at home. So I hope that this video allowed you to dig deep. You may have to journal about this and write about this to figure out which of those 4 are the primary detractor for you. But this is important work, because if you can do the work of all of these things, then you can minimize, not completely remove, but minimize the suffering that happens in your career and your life. If you're an ambitious woman who wants to disrupt the status quo in your career, make sure that you check me out at thenicoleandrews.com. You can go to my Work With Me page to sign up for a free 30-minute career consult. Also, if you're wanting to understand the career path success formula for you, check out my quiz at thenicoleandrews.com/quiz to find your unique career path success formula. Now, with that, I want you to embrace all of you, because we need you to shine your light in the world, in your home, and in your workplace. I don't want you to be like anyone else. I'm here to help you be and bring more of you into this world, because we need you. And if you're watching the channel and you love the videos, make sure that you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and also check out my other videos. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified. I can't wait to see you next time.